Hello, how are you?
I am finally over the flu. It only took 3 weeks.
Good for you. Good for you. I, knock on wood, made it through the last couple of months without much of anything except a bit of chronic sinus problems, but that's been with me since I was a kid, so yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. When you're a young kid, you talk about the pot you smoked and the stuff that you drank, and when you get older, you talk about ailments.
You
It's
talk
fun.
about your bobos. That's right. Yeah. So tell me about today's guest, if you would, please.
Well, this is a fan favorite for me. I met Gregory Kaditz, that's his Ukrainian name, Bedik, when my program, back in 2009, my program director asked me last minute to go and do a remote for CJD at the Ukrainian festival. Now, I had been before, and this was when it was still in Beaubien Park. And I was greeted by the president of the festival, which was Greg. And usually when you go to these things, they kind of take you around. But I got the whole tour, and I didn't know that much about Ukraine, but I after this tour and meeting the friendliest people in the world, and also learning about the history of Ukraine, Volodymyr, when the Soviets at that time tried to starve them to death, but also all the good things. I fell in love with the festival, and this guy is one of my best friends. We've worked together over the years. He's no longer, he was president of UCFest for 10 years. He's now, let's see if I can get this all out in one shot. He is the vice president of the Quebec Provincial Council of Ukrainian Council of Canada, and he'll tell me I
Okay.
got.
Okay.
But he's been vice president for the past 3 years, and very much involved in fundraising to help the victims of the invasion and the genocide, as well as helping the 35,000 Ukrainians who've come here since 2022. To
2022 already.
I know, right? Um,
Damn.
so he's an amazing man. He gets involved. He's been in the St. Patrick's Day parades. He's been to the Grenada Spice Island Festival.
Let's
He,
bring him in here.
yep, he's
Wow.
taken part in all sorts of fundraisers. He is, as I like to say, and all that in the bag of chips.
Yeah, my goodness, that network of yours is quite impressive. All of these impressive people that you know, and I feel like a hermit compared to you. But there's Gregory.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Very good, thank you.
Thank you
How are
for
you?
sharing a few minutes with us today. And we're fine. We're just Era was just giving me a bit of your bio here, because this would go on for a couple of hours if we cover everything. But
Oh my God.
wow,
Era, how much did you type?
Well, you know me.
she's very efficient.
Yes.
Oh boy, I don't know if I want to know all of that.
Oh no, no, there's a whole lot going on here. Era, please begin. I don't know where to start.
Well, I told you, Greg and I met in 2009 when I was supposed to do remote at the festival, which I'd been to before, and I didn't know that much about it. And by the end of the day, I found a friend for life. And I learned a lot about not only Quebec's Ukrainian community, but I learned about Canadians' Ukrainian community. And I also learned that, the Ukrainians that come to Canada, they bring all of this history with them. And I discovered that Greg, growing up, learned how to play the accordion, and that he was a dancer and a singer. I mean,
We have photos.
yes, he was really all in. As a matter of fact, and I think you can correct me if this is true, Greg, but you were told that at home you had to speak Ukrainian. Fine, you speak French at school, you speak English to your friends, but you better speak Ukrainian.
That's exactly true. Now, when my father came over, he came over with his parents, and they lived together like they would in Ukraine, which is one multi-generational household. So that's how they lived. And when my mother met my dad, she had to learn Ukrainian as well. So in my household, all we spoke was Ukrainian. I'd go to school, English school, Royal at the time, Royal Oak or Royal Charles, I don't remember, Royal Oak. And my report cards will all say, Greg's a good kid, but he mixes up his N's and his H's, because an N in Ukrainian is H. So I was totally screwed up for the first couple of years when I went to English school.
And
But yeah,
where Where are you in this photograph here, Greg?
I'm the little guy in the middle.
Oh, so
that's
cute.
All right.
How adorable is that?
Another one here
Yeah.
posing.
Oh my God! You know, I rummaged through quickly images in my mother's albums. She passed away 2 years ago, and it's
Oh,
still all over the place in my basement. So that's all I could find. I'm sure there are better images than that somewhere, but
yeah, and the Ukrainian kid with an accordion. You never see that very often.
no, of course not. You know, that's. I was also a philatelist at that time, so how I don't know what the word is. How corny of a guy was I? Apologize to all the philatelists out there.
Yeah, well, yeah, and to all the Ukrainians and all the accordion players too.
Accordion
Yes.
players, yeah.
I'm just thinking of the. I'm thinking of the Schmengi brothers right now for some reason. But please forgive me.
All my friends are on the street right now playing hockey, and you know, I'm looking out the window practicing my scales, going, "Ma, can I go play hockey with my friends?" And she said, "No, finish your lessons first."
And there's a roadster of some sort there.
Future
uncle-
Formula
My
One.
uncle from the States bought me that car when it came out.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, and here's an interesting shot right
Look
there
at
with
that.
the dancing. Yes.
Yeah, they're the beginning of the geeky years.
And
Not that
what
they
is
weren't
that?
geeky before?
And what's the official name of that style of dancing?
Well, it's Ukrainian dancing. That happened to be the hopak we were dancing, which is all
Hopak.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's when the guys kick out and each leg kicks out. You need some
Yeah.
pretty good shins to do that, don't you?
Yeah. A couple of operations later, I'm much better.
And here's a final one here. I think that's you again, isn't it? In the middle there.
Yeah.
Look
Wow.
at you.
Wow.
Such a nice boy chick. So cute.
Yeah. Well,
So where do you find the time to do everything you're doing here, Greg? And why are you as involved? Now, I'm speaking to two people here who are very much involved in volunteer work and all sorts of cultural things. But what prompted you to do this, Greg?
first of all, this is all volunteer work. I do have a day job.
Okay. Yeah.
But I was raised in it. My parents raised me to do volunteer work, to help people out. I was surrounded by friends of same mind, and I think just throughout life, we as friends grew up. My childhood friends are my friends today. That stayed in Montreal, and we just did this together. It was never work. It was never. We didn't even think of it as volunteering. It was just things you do in the community. So I don't know. It's just been like that. I mean, it hit ahead in 22, obviously with the war, and that's when as adults we got extremely serious about this type of work. But as kids, it was just fun to do.
I would like to say that one of the things that impressed me, the first year I met him was fun, but the second year I was doing weather live with our CJD band, so I went down to meet him at Boquer Park, and he brought me breakfast, which was these wonderful pierogies and a bottle of vodka. Breakfast of champions.
That's it. Hey.
It was a very
That's
lively
perfect.
show.
Wow,
That
outstanding.
was a gift. We weren't supposed to open it.
I know, but I don't know the meaning of "weren't supposed to." So,
Okay.
and Van will tell you that's not me.
It was
So
a
we
pleasure
have-
meeting you in those, especially under those circumstances.
Yes,
We have
but
some
it's
other
okay.
shots here. What have we got here?
This was
Oh,
in
Alouettes game.
This was Ukrainian night. It was a fundraiser, a tailgate party arranged with Corey Ramirez to draw attention to our festival, but also our fundraising. And I was great.
We had 100 participants from the new arrived Ukrainians who have never seen Canadian football. So the idea was to expose them to a fun day at really cheap tickets. A shout out to the Montreal Alouettes for doing such a great job. And that's what is his name? Was that Pop?
That was the chief referee whose name escapes me.
No. That was the owner. I think that was the general manager of the
Oh
Alouettes.
gosh, me in sports, you know. But I remember he gave you one of their coins, like the military coins that are.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yep.
That one. That was really what a wonderful day, and the Ukrainians had a great time, and the Alouettes won.
Yes, that's true. We did win that game. And the next picture of this little boy, his mom, you'll remember his mom was one of our speakers at the festival, who had been, she was an artist, but she'd also been to Ukraine during the war and came back, and she brought her young son, and he was thrilled to bits to meet this giant football player.
I'm sure. Wow, what a great shot. And who we got here?
This is
Sterling Downey in the front.
That's right. That was our fundraiser at the Montreal Arts Centre and Museum to raise funds from Unbroken, and I will let you explain that.
Unbroken is a group. It's now one of the fundraising arms of the Canada-Ukraine Foundation, where they raise money for war amputees. So they go out to Ukraine. They had a whole team out of Toronto, some doctors and nurses in Montreal, and fit them with prosthetics. So limbs that have been blown off by mortar or mines. So it was a fundraising event here in Montreal to raise money for that cause. And at that time, Canada-Ukraine Foundation hasn't grouped them under their umbrella. And after this event, they quickly had them part of their group of funds that they raised for.
And that's at the Montreal Arts Centre and Museum. And it was the evening was we had a Montreal artist, Auclair Langlois, who's doing live painting along with Matt Herskovitz, who's a world famous pianist, and they did a live performance of painting and piano. And it was a great evening. We had about 150 people there, and we were able to, also thanks to Pete Knopf, to be able to send $6,000 over to the hospital.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. This is a very interesting shot, this one here. Who's this big group?
Well, this is the sun setting at the Montreal Ukrainian Festival.
30,000
That was a great
people.
shot by Bernardson.
Wow. What a terrific photograph.
Yeah, you know what? I should use that as my background on my laptop.
Yes, you should.
Sure.
That was the year we had the Orchestre Classique de Montréal, thanks to Salash.
Yeah. So I've been lucky enough to work for 10 years for the organization. It's a wonderful event. May I call you Yvan?
Please.
It's just if you get the chance to come this year, it's going to be on August 29th before Labor Day. Usually we do it the week after, but the park wasn't available. I mean, we moved 3 parks because it grew from 2,000 people to, in the evening of that same day, we had probably close to 40,000 people in the audience.
Wow. Is there food?
Oh God, yes.
Okay, and then I'll be there. Okay.
Last year there were 75 kiosks, where 30 of them were food.
Okay, well then you've got me on that list then for sure. Okay, excellent. And where are these folks? Are they posing in front of what I think they're posing in front of?
Yeah, you are. That is the Russian compound or consulate, and that's Serge Sasseville. What a brave soul that guy is. Every day plays the Ukrainian national anthem, and it's got flags across the street. His building where he lives, he's got Yuki flags out the windows and just annoying the heck out of them. He's obviously was immediately put on the "Don't come to Russia" list.
Right.
But he's done it every day, every single day, over 1,400 days since the beginning of
just insane. Insane.
He'll be there this Saturday. This Saturday, we've got a demonstration for 4 years of the genocidal war on Ukraine, and he'll be there as one of the speakers. Great guy. Just really
4
nice
years.
Guy.
God help us all.
Can you believe that?
I'm still reeling about that. And this is obviously a dance performance here. Was this at the festival too?
Yes.
Yeah, that's at the festival as well. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I
There's
think
another
one of the
shot
things
with
that
the.
amazes me the most is how come more Ukrainian dancers don't need hip replacements after they perform for about 15 years, because it's so acrobatic, like getting down with your hips to the floor and then shooting your legs out and then jumping like way high up in the air with your legs up here. And there's probably how many dance troops and singers? It's like a whole day of free entertainment, spectacular.
There's nonstop acts from noon till the city closes us down. They say 11 o'clock, let's say. So our last act is at 10. It's usually a band that comes out from Ukraine, but none of these dancers are any old. The old dancer is 30 years old. Most of them need to retire their knees.
I could just imagine.
At about 25.
And this
But
is a
yeah,
special
this dance
presentation.
group came from Toronto, just unbelievable. They've been coming every year. There's 40 of them, and just beautiful to see them on stage. Very
Now, what is
colorful.
this bread called, Greg?
I'm sorry?
The bread that's called here in the special presentation.
That's a korovai. So that bread is used during special occasions, weddings. So you'll greet the bride and groom, or you greet guests with bread and with salt. Salt, the earth, and the bread, what the earth gives. And as well, usually with, that came later, I'm pretty sure, a little shot of rye. Everybody talks about vodka, but the national drink of Ukraine is whiskey. It's a rye whiskey.
Oh,
I did not know
I
that.
did not know that
Yeah.
either. Interesting.
Neither did I 10 years ago.
Okay. But you've been sure to spread that around ever since. Good for you. And
Absolutely. And I got to try it too. So
and I recognize Ms. Boquer there, I think, in this particular group.
Yes, this was our press launch last year, Greg, for our first ever golf tournament.
yeah, we grouped together. This was the Black Watch downtown on Blurry Street. What a gorgeous, gorgeous historical building. Got to thank the man, Santa Claus there with the beard, Bruno Plourde, who was able to get us into that building for a press conference. And we were announcing the first ever golf tournament with the Ukrainian Canadian Congress and the Le Sentier Veterans Association. And Le Sentier is a group that helps out people, the veterans with PTSD and other forms of psychosocial issues. And in the Ukrainian community, we think, or we don't think, we know, we're going to see the husbands of the women and children that are here coming over here with the same types of issues. Le Sentier's had a ton of experience with this. They've been around for quite a few years. We've had zero experience, so we thought it would be a good idea to merge with them or partner with them, learn from them, and then help when the time comes. The people that come over. So that was great. That was a nice event. I enjoyed that.
And we had a really nice guest. We had the Tim Fleischer from the Concussion Foundation. And this, of course, was also in 2022.
Well, we've been demonstrating in 2022 and 2023, probably almost every second weekend, with either marches in downtown Montreal or demonstrations in Old Montreal. And the beauty of it is now you're seeing Ukrainian flags, but the more we did it, you see Georgian flags, you see Lithuanian, Latvian, Estonian, Polish, and there's a lot of people that come together to support and fight against the indecencies that are happening back in Ukraine. There's one
coming up on the 22nd here, right?
Yeah, this is in 20. Yeah, this is this Saturday. It's the 22nd.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will have taken place by the time this goes to YouTube. But so it's worth mentioning that the demonstrations and the activities have not stopped here. And I guess this is the question I was going to ask you too about this. Are you feeling any? I don't know that apathy is the right word, but are you feeling a bit of a slowing in attention to this after 4 years?
The news cycle is not on Ukraine much right now,
Yeah.
if that's what you're asking. So we're
Yeah.
trying. Yesterday we were at City Hall, and they had a declaration that so all of us from UCC were there, Ukrainian Canadian Congress, and all the community leaders, the Ukrainian community leaders, and to listen to the declaration. And people are saying in support of the Ukrainian people until Ukraine gains all of their territory back. So it's great to hear, but I didn't see that anywhere in the media. And with everything that's happening with our friend Trump, everything that's in the news concerning what he's doing around the world, we seem to be out of the cycle. But
Yeah.
it'll definitely come back, and it'll be talked about. It's still happening. The atrocities are still happening out there. Just because it's not in the news, it's there. So our job at the UCC is to bring it to the forefront of media. So we're starting again. Not that we stopped. Sunday, I mentioned Saturday. I apologize for that. Sunday the 22nd, with a huge demonstration in Phillips Square.
And there's usually other activities. I believe that Tetiana Tsomko, one of our who organizes a lot of the Ukrainian costume and fashion shows, does an event every fall now called Borscht, which is really, really cool. And that's
Borscht, as in the soup. Okay.
Yeah, as in the soup. So it's called Sorry, Ara. Do you mind if I?
Yes. No. I'm throwing that to you.
Thank you, Borscht. So it's a way for the Ukrainian community to give back to the local community or communities. It's a thank you. So it's free. It's usually near the Shim Hospital. There's a little square there. I forgot the name of the square. And we take over that whole square. We've got a couple of acts on stage, and there's usually 7 or 8. Last year or the year before, there were about 10 kiosks with borschts around the around Ukraine. So every region of Ukraine has their different type of borscht. It's the first time I've seen a green borscht. It's usually with beets, but I've seen one there. So it's a thank you. It's free. Anybody that comes over to the park can partake and try a borscht from any region of Ukraine, and it's called Thank You Borscht because it's a thank you to the community that supports us as well.
Wow. Okay. What do we got? A couple of other
One of
photographs here.
the other things I like about
I think this is Greg here.
Is
this you singing, Greg, or?
Oh God, no.
No. Okay. Okay, maybe
I
Volare or something? No.
No, that's just talking. That's just emceeing at the Ukrainian festival during the day.
Yeah, he sort of runs around all day and just does everything.
Toronto.
This was our conference, I think, this year. Last fall, sorry. Last fall. This is the national conference, Ukrainian Canadian Congress. I'm part of the Quebec Provincial Division Council. Sorry, thank you, Eric. You know it better than I do. And this was the national meeting where all of us, all 10 provinces and one territory, get together and we talk about plans going forward, what has been done, and what there is to do as well.
Okay.
So.
And I think we got another shot here from the Alouettes game.
Oh, this was great.
With a young man there and his, is that his mum?
Yes.
That is, oh boy, it's a bad picture. That is a young woman from Toronto, Yvan. Now, she was in Ukraine and she was all over Facebook and all over the world. She would take doors with bullets and fences with bullets in them and then paint flowers around them to make them decorative.
For God's sake.
So it was really cool. It was she did a really beautiful job, and once in a while she auctions off a piece of fence for charity to send money back to Ukraine. So Ivanka's done a great job. There's a lot of great people like that in both in the Montreal and Toronto communities.
And you forgot to mention that the Alouettes presented you with a huge key that day. Because Greg was, every game they have a celebrity who opens up the gate where the players come through.
and I screwed it up.
You did not.
I did. So you're supposed to go there and put the key into the cage because they're alouettes, they're birds, so they're in a bird cage. And I thought I was supposed to put the key in, turn it, and open the door. But I'm supposed to just put the key in, and then somebody else comes, opens the door later on for them to run out onto the field. So I turned the key and I opened the door, and there's no alouettes there. So and everybody's yelling at me, go, no, don't do that. No, close the door. So then I had to close the door. Thank God none of that was on camera. So it was great fun.
It was
thank
wonderful.
you, Era, for putting that together with Ramirez. It was just a blast.
Well, that was also, we had a tailgate party. Everybody knows what that is. And one of the nice things that you get during the festival, and especially at this event, is you get to learn about all the Ukrainian businesses and bakeries. And I believe this was this Zetinsky's Deli, which is a very famous deli. I'm on her Facebook page. And they make these incredible sandwiches. And so we had a big party in the park before with our own beer. Voila, am I pronouncing it?
Voya, Liberty. We brew our own beer for the festival.
So, these events are very important to draw attention to the continuing war and genocide. But at the same time, it's nice to see that, Montreal with these events is very welcoming to Ukrainians. In the first year, in 2022, and we have to give a shout out to the Solange Irish Society. They invited Greg to come out and be in the parade, and I'll let you tell that story.
Great group. I didn't know about them before. I've been going to the St. Patrick's Day parade since the 70s. I'm aging myself. And it's been great fun. We used to go. Ed Doro used to organize it. Before that, Maranzak used to organize it. And I never heard about the parade out in Hudson. So through Era, they gave us a call and said, Greg, why don't you come over and be part of the parade? So we got a few people, went to the parade. Lo and behold, they created on their own a Ukrainian flag, a big banner with a shamrock in the middle. So nobody asked for that, and they just went ahead and did it. And we walked around with it there. Just wonderful Irish people, Irish souls. Just that community just been fantastic internationally to the Ukrainian community as well as here in Montreal. There's a real kinship between the two communities. In fact, Ireland took in the first 60,000. We can't call them refugees, but people escaping the war in Europe. So they were one of the first to help out. So hats off to the Irish. Their big day's coming up next month.
Good for them. Just that leads me to another question here too. We're hearing a lot about the what they call the PEC en français, PEQ here, on the difficulties in the CAC and people being turned their way and all of this. Are the government wheels still turning in the right direction for Ukrainian settlers or Ukrainian people who come in?
We have a very good relationship, and the job of the UCC is to be the voice of the Ukrainian community here. So all the small voices come together into one big voice or one big ask. We've had a very good relationship with the present government. We've got meetings with Mr. Legault and the whole team next week. They're going to have an announcement as well in the l'Assemblée nationale. And I'll leave it at that. Things are going to go forward well for the newcomers from Ukraine and the QAT. So we're very happy with the way things are.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. All right, good.
So but the relationship's been great.
Good.
Hats off with everything else that's going on. They've always supported the newcomers here.
But it's also too that Montrealers and in every community, from the very first plane that arrived in Montreal in 2022, there are well over, I'm sure it's bigger now because in the press release last year, I think I said 35,000.
About right. Yeah.
Yeah. I volunteered with the Ukrainian community for about 12 or 13 years now. But one of the things that makes the Ukrainian community unique, and also very helpful is you have whole groups of people organizing things like places to stay, clothing to wear, giving families tickets to go to the planetarium. But that's all done within the Ukrainian, it's all volunteers, thousands of volunteers who are really helping um, the people that come here. And I tell you, Greg, you and your group, that's a huge job. And I know it continues every day.
We in 22, I mean, all of the churches and the communities got together, and people like Sassville, I believe, used to work for Videotron, and they needed the newcomers needed to communicate back with their loved ones in Ukraine. So we, through him, uh, Videotron gave us a call and said, "I've got 300 telephones for you." And
Really?
yeah, 3 month plan. So after discussions with them, it turned into a 6 month plan and 600 phones. And then it blossomed to 1,000 phones. So companies, communities have done a fantastic job helping out, especially in the beginning while everybody's just trying to organize and get these people on their feet. They usually come in here with very little money, very well educated though, and
Mhm.
with children and mostly women. So, but they're hard workers and they're willing to work and do anything. I mean, we've met metallurgical engineers that are baggers at
Yeah,
Provigo. So
right.
you need to work and you need to feed your children. So they did it. So we organized, but there was help. We had so many donations of canned food, of utensils, of everything that's needed to start a home, a place to live, a foot home was donated. We've had Shom FM help us with a fundraiser to pick up food for one day in front of the youth center. We've had I gave a call to a friend, Vincent Marissal, when we needed a warehouse for all the extra clothing that we got because the churches were packed and there was no more room. Vincent Marissal said, "Hey, I have a friend that knows a friend," and they found us a warehouse for all
Mm.
that. So not it was tough going, but everybody got together in all communities to help us out. I forgot the name of the two ladies that came to help out under the church in Rosemont, and we needed trucks to bring goods back and forth to the warehouse. They organized trucks, no charge. I mean, big cube trucks to drive with drivers to drive things back and forth. So the Montreal community has been incredible, incredible since 22, and
And
people taking in strangers was just unreal.
Does me good to hear this.
just a
Yes,
small side mention, but one of our sponsors for our Stay the Course golf tournament last year was Quinn Farm. And I didn't know this. And as we all know recently, and God bless his soul, Elwood Quinn recently
passed
passed
away.
away.
Yeah.
But his son and his wife, Stephanie, who continue to run Quinn Farm, they actually they not just invited, but Quinn Farm flew Ukrainians over and let them stay in the guest houses because they have workers, but they're very nice houses, and gave them jobs in, is it Il Perot? Quinn Farms on Il Perot?
Yeah,
Is it right
yeah, yeah.
there? Yeah. Which I thought was spectacular. And another charity, Generations Foundation, which we all know feeds school children, gave us thousands of toys for our children. So it's an well, this has been just catastrophic in terms of the cost of the human lives, no tragedy. One of the things that Greg and I have seen is the generosity of not just like, of course, people in Montreal, but charities and businesses. It's been spectacular.
Wow.
Unreal. There's a family I met. We went out to see them in Laval, Mike and I, just because we said, oh my God, they happen to be in Laval, but they live in Gatineau. They took in a family of four, a mother and three kids. And that's not easy to do. Don't speak the language. They don't speak Ukrainian, obviously, in Gatineau. And these Ukrainians did not speak French yet. Um, I mean, hats off to, and there's a lot of these people, and a lot like Quinn Farms wasn't talked about, and these people need to be talked about. It's not all doom and gloom out here. There are some great, great people, both in communities as well as in businesses. So,
Is there anything is there a need for anything right now, particular segment of assistance?
continue to QAT assistance, continue to honor the visas. They're due. We help out with that, and we usually open up a church and say, if you need to renew your visas, this is where to go. We're working with the governments to make sure that the people that are here can continue staying here.
Right.
And we're really preparing for their loved ones. A lot of people that are here are going to stay here. They're learning French or have learned French. I travel to Quebec City for work very often. I go to the hotel, a front desk. Guess who's there? A girl that speaks French really well. And I liked her. I said, "You got a little bit of an accent. Are you from an Eastern European country?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm from Ukraine." And so a lot of them, it's funny. A lot of these people have jobs. I don't know of any Ukrainians that came over that aren't working,
Right.
which is weird. I should expect to be helping them because they have nothing to eat.
Well, that's
This
what
is
I've.
not where we're at.
That's one thing I've heard since the beginning, as it were. Yeah, is that there's very few, if any, slouches in the group there.
What we need most of all is media attention. I think to what's happening, because it's happening every day. We're comfortable, viewing our laptops, sitting in warmth. Where just yesterday I was speaking to a family saying, "Look, my family's out there, and right now, today, at this time we're talking, they have no power. They're washing their clothes outside. They boil snow, melt snow, and wash their clothes in outside in a giant bucket. So things are very tough out there, and we need to talk about it. And the West has to pick up their pants and help out more. I mean, there's a very easy way to stop this, but nobody's willing to go that far.
I have something positive people could do, and I'm going to throw this to you, Greg. But
Sure.
our this will be the first time we're announcing it, but our Stay the Course golf tournament with Licencié and UCC was such a success last year that
We're doing it again this year. So we haven't picked the course. Most of them aren't open yet, but they should be in the next couple of weeks. And we'll do it again with Licencié and the UCC. Stay the Course golf tournament, raising funds for Canadian veterans. It's important for us, thank you Borscht is important to do, to thank the people, and to work with a group like Licencié to in conjunction help Canadian veterans, which come back sometimes even from peacekeeping missions, even from training missions in Latvia, where they are now. And just the sound of the practice bombs, which are probably 1/10 of what they really are, can concuss and can give you the same effect as PTSD. So these people are coming back and they need help, and we wanted to group together with Licencié. And probably last week of June or the week before, we're going to have another golf tournament where we're going to invite anybody that wants to come and wants to support the Canadian veterans, as well as the veterans that will be coming from Ukraine, and even the children that are here now. And some of the women do suffer with PTSD, and the biggest challenge will be, you know, psychological help for these people.
Well, it's hard for them too. When I think you have this story about when the jets fly over Montreal for the Alouettes game.
That's when we realized, you know what, guys, you know, we're helping with food and with places to live and stuff, but our help is going to have to change in the future, because we saw these kids hit the dirt at so there was a flyby at the football game, and when the jets came, the kids hit the ground.
Oh my!
And they
Oh
started
my!
crying, and
Oh,
we're going,
goodness.
"Oh my God, that makes absolute sense." The other thing, during our demonstrations, we used to play the sounds, the alarm of when bombs are coming. So we'd play the alarm for the people that were not from Ukraine, so they understand this is what you hear every day when you're in Ukraine. So we played that. Then a family came up to us and they said, "Look, we got together with a lot of the newcomers, and we said, can you please not play that at the
Stop it!
demonstration?"
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness
So
gracious!
we were insensitive because we had no clue. We're trying to educate the people here, but we were doing harm to them. So we stopped doing that. So these are things that made us realize we need to get together with people who know what's going on with PTSD, and the people that are here already suffering with it. So Le Sentier was a natural organization to partner with.
There's so much going on, Greg. Is there a website where people can go and see a calendar or suggestions of where they can point themselves to either show up someplace or provide assistance?
www.uccmontreal.com.
uccmontreal.com. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your time today. We could go on for quite some time, but thank you for what you're doing, and bon courage. Merci.
Oh, ça fait grand plaisir. Merci. And je suis pas seul. So there's a big group. There's a lot of people here in Montreal working, helping, and it's all volunteer work. We all have day jobs. Unfortunately, I travel a lot, or fortunately, I don't know which way to look at it sometimes, but we all find time to do what needs to be done to help out the people that are here, help out the people back in Ukraine. And I really thank you very much for letting me on your show to talk about it a little bit.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that folks are rising to the occasion. That's done me a lot of good today.
Slava
Thank you.
Ukraini.
Heroyam Slava. Thank you. Have a great day.